With all the talk from all the higher ups about conscriptions, we're asking a simple question today. Would you go to war for this country? Let's see what the people of the streets of London have to say about that. Would you?
Hell no.
What do you mean hell no? What do you mean hell no? Why not? She said hell no.
So, if a war kicked off right now and the UK were invaded, would you go to war? If they called you up, would you fight it or would you have it? I'd be interested to know in the comment section what your thoughts are on this, and maybe we can do a longer video once we get everyone's opinions. Please comment below.
God, please tell me that comment was a joke. Man, I'm loving this trend lately in social media where content creators are going out in the streets to ask random foreigners whether they'd be willing to go to war for the country they live in. All these years of diversity is our strength gone down the sewer as soon as the shit hits the fan. The answers are exactly as I expected. Basically, the large majority of them are responding with resolute no's. They will not. There's a few exceptions like this ethnic Pakistani national British Chad that said yes, which is a sentiment that's pretty similar to mine. I'm a foreigner myself living in a Western country, and when the whole Russia-Ukraine conflict began, I asked myself the same thing. Will I go to war for the Western country I live in? And I also said yes, but not because I have a personal sense of patriotism. I think I voice enough of my displeasure for the current state of the West throughout my videos. I don't like it. I think the modern Westerner is a liberal pussy. But I will say yes because I appreciate the ideas of freedom, pre-woke liberalism, and capitalism that have offered the best quality of life, social advancements, and innovations to the world more than any other system. Obviously, I also feel a sense of duty. I came to the West many years ago with pretty much not a dollar in my pocket or anything to my name, and here I got a degree, started a career, and other stuff. So I owe all the opportunities I have to this system, to these ideas that originated here. But if, hypothetically, my country and the Western country I live in went to war, not necessarily against each other, just be involved in some sort of conflict where they desperately require more manpower, I would choose my country over the West. Not because I hate the West, but because my country, my culture, is an integral part of who I am. Defending it would be defending who I am as a human being. So I have this inherent need to protect it. Generally speaking, every foreigner around you probably feels the same way too in this hypothetical. Who wouldn't? Well, white people, of course.
If England was to go to war, would you fight for the country?
No.
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 You for your citizenship, so you're
But
not.
I'm not fighting.
I have no ounce of patriotism in my body whatsoever.
Really?
No.
I just can't be bothered.
No, can't be bothered.
The last thing I would want to do is represent England. There's not exactly much to be proud of.
I'm not from here, so I don't give a shit.
Whites don't get it. They will gaslight each other into believing diversity is a strength. Whether these foreigners said yes or no to defending the countries they live in, if given a choice, they choose their own countries over the West every single time. As I said, I don't blame them. I will do the same thing. Most whites don't feel this way at all, and it's no secret. They hate patriotism, they hate their own culture. They wouldn't lift a finger to defend it, which is ironic because the whites that feel this way are extremely pro-war. They are okay with sending their men to war, the same men they hate and complain about being part of the patriarchal system of oppression. But if the bombs started dropping and the bullets were flying, they'd run behind these same men in a second to take cover. Then you got mofos like Short Fat Otaku saying shit like, the war is already at your doorstep. Alright, if you people really believe that, go to Ukraine. Seriously, they have a foreign legion all set up and ready to enlist you. Join it. If you truly believe the war is on and there's no other solutions, go and fight it. Sign up for the Ukrainian army right now and be there on the front lines by tomorrow afternoon. Truth is, none of you will. None of you really believe in what you're saying. You just believe in your side's narrative. Today you're pro-war, pro-Palestine. Tomorrow, who the fuck knows? These people are what is known as fair weather warmongers. That is the bottom of the barrel levels of scum. Old men start wars, young men go and and fight them, and these motherfuckers stay behind arguing who's right or wrong like chickens in a coop. They spread pro-war propaganda, fear-monger to pressure governments into war, and they vote and cheer for policies that prolong these wars. Which brings me to my next point, the anti-war people. People like me, they are the first ones to seriously consider, or in the case of Ukraine, actually stay behind to protect the country. But they don't want the war in the first place. They campaign against it, speak openly against it, and they praise governments such as the Trump administration for trying to find a solution. And for that we're called traitors or Russian sympathizers. Wait, wasn't Russia a paper tiger? Everyone was saying they couldn't even invade Ukraine. And now, out of nowhere, they are all acting up as if Russia was gonna conquer the whole world tomorrow. What the fuck happened to the left? Turn back the clock 10 or 20 years, and they were the ones doing all the anti-war activism. Even the American soldiers, the ones that volunteered for the war in 2003, came back from Iraq completely against it. Where the fuck are all these people now? It's like they all vanish. It's 2025 and the anti-war movement is led by the right. The same Republicans that 20 years ago were pro-war. I'm old and lucky enough to remember this, but imagine today's youth. All they know about the left is the woke movement, the same one that's pro-war now. They don't know it was the liberal left championing for free speech and the separation of church and state back in the day. Now this is the movement that's pushing for censorship and progressive ideology for all ages in academia. Here's the punchline of the woke progressive agenda. They are pro-war because they believe someone else will fight for them. This is not true. As soon as there's a threat of war, half of the population will flee their countries. The large majority of those people will be immigrants, followed by ethnically mixed people with family and roots abroad, and then the rich, the social elites who can afford to go anywhere they want. The only ones left to defend their countries will be the native working class with nowhere else to go. Even if you try to flee, none of you will be welcome abroad with the same kindness, hospitality, and egalitarianism that the liberal left promotes systematically. You'll be classified as a second-class citizen at best, or an undesirable, marginalized community at worst. In the same manner, the United Arab Emirates treats Indians. Look it up. As soon as they arrive in the country, they steal their passports, throw 20 of them in small studio apartments where they barely fit, where they have to sleep and eat in the bathrooms, sleep on top of each other, and if you complain, they deport you right back in an instant. In today's political environment, immigration is only useful as a temporary economic boost. And even then, it's a short one. It's only healthy for everyone when it's in low doses, because only then can immigrants truly melt into the culture while the natives grow used to them. In today's world, liberals have created an economic bubble where diversity is far, really far from being a source of strength. This is the reality. The liberal left will sell you all of these beautiful stories and studies from 20 or 10 years ago from sociologists whose last names always end up in Stein or Berg for some reason, and also refuse to open borders for Israel, by the way, telling you about all the positive changes without ever dwelling on the negatives, and deflect any uncomfortable questions. Why has Sweden turned into the rape capital of Europe? I don't know. Don't go out at night. Why are there so many terrorist attacks? What are you implying here? Are you a bigot? Why has London become an uncontrollable crime-infested shithole in the past 20 years? Just stay away from those areas. Liberals will keep kicking the can down the road until the tide finally reaches up to their necks. And even then, they'll just move further away and play dumb all over again. The massive waves of illegal immigrants entering Europe and America is unsustainable. You can't have a balance with these numbers. There's not enough jobs, there's no infrastructure. This imbalance causes unemployment and lowers the standards of living for these new coming immigrants, which then they will interpret as discrimination against them from the native Westerner. Nobody wins. It doesn't matter how much evidence you show them. You will never change their minds. It's exactly as Yuri Bezmenov said. Liberals are so indoctrinated that even if you shower them with proof, with information, they simply refuse to believe it. Anyway, today was a short one. I'm still working on some more Warhammer 40k content. I have other ideas related to politics and philosophy, but since I'm busy with work, content will be kinda slow. Feel free to join the Discord community in the meantime. Link in the description. Thanks for listening. Bye.
You're not doing this for like what the actual conversation is, which is getting rid of this country.
Getting rid of this country?
Getting rid of America, getting rid of the West. This is what this is for.
You want to get rid of America?
Yes! Everyone here understands that at some level we need to get rid of America completely.
What should we do?
Decolonization, land back.
Where should we go, though?
In our communities. We need to go leave the capitals, leave the central capitals of commerce, of capital itself.
Kill our shoot to kill. Come on, sir. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Kiss the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa. Brr, pa, pa. Attention.